Okay. Hare Krishna. So my humble obeisance to all the devotees. So we welcome you for today's Throwback Thursday. On behalf of Iskcon Seshadripuram, we welcome you all. And today we have with us very special guest. So today we have with us His Grace Bhadra Balaram Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, can you please switch on your video? Possible for you? Yes. Okay.
Hare Krishna, am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Very much audible and visible. So I'll just start with a quick introduction, Prabhuji, and then you
Yeah.
can go on. So Prabhuji is practicing Krishna consciousness since even before 1989. So it's our great fortune that we have with us very senior Vaishnava who is practicing Krishna consciousness for 35 plus years. So it's our great fortune. We should take full advantage. And to give more introduction about Prabhuji, so Prabhuji got initiation in 1989 itself in Sridham Mayapur from Guru Maharaj. And after that, Prabhuji was involved in various services of Guru Maharaj as a personal secretary. So he was involved, in different services. For example, photography, videography of Guru Maharaj, and taking care of initiations, disciple database, and then personal assistance, whatever is required for Guru Maharaj, purchasing, accounts, and so many different activities, traveling schedule, managing Guru Maharaj's traveling schedule. Guru Maharaj, like I have heard from many senior devotees, like Guru Maharaj even has received some record that he is the person who travels the most. So, so Prabhuji was managing Guru Maharaj's travel arrangements as well. And currently Prabhuji is taking care of, as a, like Guru Maharaj is taking care of TOVP, some part of TOVP and different other services. Prabhuji is serving as secretary for especially TOVP and SGVA. And Prabhuji is also heading JPS office initiation team. So we welcome Prabhuji by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Shri Guru Sundar. First of all, today I went to, usually I go in the evening to Yoga Pit, and today they gave me this garland, so I thought I can offer to all of you. This is from Yoga Pit, Mahaprabhu's Lakshmi Nrsimha Dev temple. So that's for all of you. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Sri Balaram Swami Namo Acharya Padaya Krishna Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurivani Nirvishishti Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gauri Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai Shri Prabhupada. First of all, thank you very much for again calling me, inviting me, instructing me to come and join with all of you. And certainly we remember our dear Godfather Nani Jagannath Prabhu, who also had called me to be with all of you 2 years back. And he's in our prayers. We also seek his blessings. So one day we also can develop that enthusiasm, that passion that he had, that devotion, dedication he had for serving Guru Maharaj and for serving the mission of the Prabhupada, mission. We pray to him, we pray for him, and we are happy that we are again together. Just want to mention that a few days back, Nitya Sangini Madhavi Mata, when she contacted me and asked me to speak with all of you again, I was very happy. It's always a great pleasure to talk about Guru Maharaj, especially with devotees who are attached to him, who are attached to Prabhupada's mission, who are attached to do something for Guru Maharaj, something for Prabhupada, something for Iskcon. for the Sankirtan movement. So I was very happy. Only difficulty is that when I speak about Guru Maharaj, I don't always keep track of what I spoke. There are a lot of things which I have in my notes somewhere, and I do make some points what to speak about, which pastimes to talk about, but I don't always keep track of how many I could speak, how many could not be spoken, because we always run out of time and we have to curtail it. So I was wondering what I should speak about today, because what if I spoke in the past could be the same thing. Of course, there is no boring thing about when you speak about Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, even of course for Supreme Lord, because pastimes are transcendental. You hear more, you purify more, you develop devotion more for that personality. But still, I wanted to make sure that I don't really bore all of you. So I called up Akshay Sundar Prabhu to ask whether we have same audience or different audience. He said they keep changing, so which is understandable. Anyway, I'm very happy about speaking and let us talk about Guru Maharaj. It is specifically interesting and enjoyable, if you want to use that word, that when you speak of a particular subject matter with a particular interest group, it becomes more relishable, right? For example, if you are speaking about, say, cricket, to cricket fan, and if you also a cricket fan. So when a cricket fan talks about cricket to another cricket fan, it becomes more enjoyable, relishable. In our case, it is about our beloved Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka. We used to call him Acharyapat. Those who have been there before many years, they know. Acharyapat, we used to call him. Later, some GBC rules for all the devotees and all the gurus, because things don't happen always the way we expect. So then Guru Maharaj said, okay, you can call me. Yes. So we started calling Guru Maharaj, Guru Dev, Guru Maharaj, different ways. But generally we call Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj is happy. So we talk about him today. And of course, one more thing is that I give example of cricket, but that's just an example. It's not that we do hear about cricket and with cricket fan. And those days were there, I know, when before joining, we had all these games, this, that. And sometimes when I see some headlines, when I go through news headlines, and I see some cricket headlines and feel like how much time I spent or wasted in those worthless things, hearing commentary, playing this, playing that, different games and different hobbies, which by Prabhupada mercy I dropped when I joined this. Indeed, Prabhupada lifted us out of ignorance. And of course, I mean, a lot more to go, so much more to do in life to really get out of ignorance. But nonetheless, I realize, and I'm sure many of you also realize, that we, the disciples of the Guru Maharaj, are some of the most fortunate souls on this planet. And if you don't realize, please contemplate. Please read, hear, associate with Guru Maharaj, his instruction, his life. Then you will know, if you are not knowing, that you are some of the most fortunate souls on the planet who have received, who have been able to receive Guru Maharaj as their spiritual. And I'm saying this from my realization. It is honestly not about comparing gurus or those kind of things. We don't get into those things because that is not the teachings that we learn from Maharaj. But one thing I must say that before joining Iskcon, when I was into spiritual, I had the inclination, obviously, by Prabhupada's mercy, Krishna's mercy, about spiritual life. So before joining Iskcon, I used to pray to Krishna, searching for spiritual master. And of course, after reading Prabhupada's books, which I'm sure is a turning point in many of your life, reading Prabhupada, I used to pray to the Lord that, oh my Lord, please send me a spiritual master who is the best on the planet, in the world. My concern was not to get something best, but my concern was that I do not want to waste one more life by getting into another somebody who may not be able to take me back to God. So I used to pray to Krishna like that please let me meet that spiritual person, master, guru, who is the best. And I'm here with our Guru Maharaj. So I am very confident about my own relation with Guru Maharaj. And I think that after associating with Guru Maharaj for this many years, many of you will have that conviction that your Guru Maharaj is best for you. We all, devotees, disciples, doesn't matter who the spiritual master is. So far, the Guru is in parampara, bona fide parampara. Especially, when we are in Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara. We should have that conviction that my Guru is the best Guru for myself, for my spiritual life is the best. And Guru could be Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru. I was referring to Diksha Guru when I was praying to Krishna. So that's very good thing that when you associate with a spiritual master, we realize his quality. We realize how great he is. Of course, we also have to contemplate. When we serve the spiritual master, when we are alone, we need to think about it. We need to contemplate how he is so merciful, how he is so expert. We talk with God to the God sisters. And as we churn that experiences more and more, we get more realization about the greatness of spirituality. Here today we want to speak about learning from the Spirit. We always talk about different pastimes. We rarely share. And I keep saying this thing when I talk to our devotees about the different pastimes of Guru Maharaj, that we do not want to only hear the pastimes and say, wow, it was beautiful and nice, forget about it. No. Every pastimes, just as the Lord's pastimes, also give us some lesson. Besides the fact that hearing the pastimes, we cleanse our heart, we purify our existence. But we also want to make sure that we also take extra endeavors to learn something more from those pastimes. So when we talk about learning something, from the spiritual world. Obviously, for any intelligent person, the first question would be, learn what? What we can learn? I'm sure many of you have seen Guru Maharaj, and I'm not saying in just saying. You must have seen him talking to different devotees on different subject matters. I personally have seen him talking to all kind of devotees, all kind of even karmis also. The most simple village boy, girl, simple lady, old gentleman, to some top dignitaries, celebrities, or influential people, sophisticated, materially educated people. And I have seen that he's able to inspire all of them. And those people, they also say that I learned from this gentleman. I learned from my Guru Maharaj. You may be some faculty, some expert in, say, accounting or computers or politics, whatever you could. But when you meet Guru Maharaj and talk about your profession, doctors, or I'm sure our doctors team have learned now that Guru Maharaj is not an ordinary patient. He can teach them. He is also teaching. And wherever he goes, the hospital doctors also find the way Guru Maharaj asks questions. They learn and they get impressed. That is the quality of a pure devotee. A devotee is not limited to mundane education, mundane qualification. In fact, for a devotee, those things don't really matter, because scriptures tell us that Krishna is the one who gives us intelligence. And intelligence to do what? To go closer to go back to. That is the only intelligence we need actually in the material world. All the rest of the things that we see about intelligence and material things, they are instruments of Maya to keep us in this material world. Unless we use it in Krishna's service. Right? Yukta Vairagya. So yes, we learn, we have educations, we can have more educations, endless degrees. But unless we approach a spiritual master like our Guru Maharaj, those things are worthless. And we realize that, and I'm sure there are many more people who realize the same thing, that when they come to Krishna consciousness and meet a person like Guru Maharaj, they find a reason to live life, a better life, a meaningful life. So there are so many ways to learn things. There are so many things to learn from Guru Maharaj. What I'm trying to say is that every expert can also learn from Guru Maharaj. So what we want to learn from Guru Maharaj knows many things. He has achieved many things, materially also, spiritually also. We talk about spiritual life, of course, but real life is just something in the background now. It is helping us. Wherever it helps in spiritual life, we value it. If it creates some obstacles in spiritual life, we reject. We don't want to get into that unless it helps. So in spiritual life, we see Guru Maharaj has achieved many things, not many. He is a GBC for the entire society. GBC Guru Maharaj is a sannyasi, the senior most sannyasi in the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya as of today. Guru Maharaj is a prominent spiritual leader in the world. He's inspiring thousands, hundreds of thousands. Guru Maharaj is also a spiritual master, a social leader. I mean, he's many things. Guru Maharaj is a god brother, a god cousin. He is also a disciple. So what we want to learn from? We want to be a GBC, not somebody wants to serve the society, maybe inspired to be a GBC, so he can take up more responsibility, make up some improvements, help the society grow better, help the standard grow better, help devotees feel more attached to society, become better devotees, help reach more. So GBCs can do many things. So somebody may be wanting to become a GBC. Somebody may want to become a spiritual leader, a spiritual master. Somebody wants to become one of the things, a preacher. Okay, I want to become preacher. Guru Maharaj is a great preacher. Somebody wants to become a good disciple, an exemplary disciple. Guru Maharaj is an exemplary disciple. So, what we want to learn depends on our nature. Of course, we should also know our own, how you call it, what we are equipped with. If I am good at drawing, I want to become a painter, a person who can draw. And I would talk to Guru Maharaj about that. If I am an engineer, I would talk about that. If I am good at preaching, I would talk about preaching. Anything we can learn from Guru Maharaj, we have to know what we should learn. Not only what we should learn, but also why we should learn. Spiritual masters, he's not a machine, right? That you go, okay, click on this, add some commands and you see entire thing. Okay, now learn. It's not, Mr. Google or Mr. Bean. It's Guru Maharaj is Guru Maharaj. Spiritual master is Krishna's representative. So, what we want to learn is important, but we also have to know why we want to learn. If a child is wanting to learn how to turn the gas stove on, father, mother would not teach that. Because they know that this child is not yet mature enough to handle fire, right? If you open your computer and want to say how to turn on the gas stove, you will say, but a father, mother would not tell that to a child because they are conscious of the risk involved in it. So a mature Guru Maharaj like our Guru Maharaj, he would not learn or teach anything that disciple wants to learn. Disciple has to have the adhikar, has to have the sincerity, has to have the qualities, and should be aware of the risk factors also. I may want to learn something, but after learning, I may ruin myself, right? So we should also know why we should learn. I want to become GBC, yes. Yes, Guru Maharaj, I want to become GBC. I want to become a sannyasi, yes, become a sannyasi. Right. But we have to know why we want to become GBC, why we want to become sannyasi, why we want to become a preacher. Right. We want to become GBC, so we get some facilities, respect, or some nice shadam, or there are many ways we can misuse or misconceive GBC's position. I want to become Guru because, I can have a lot of disciples, they will come and glorify me, or I can have Vyasasan to sit on Vyasasan. So many things people can find out to become. Is that the reason we want to become Guru? Just few days back, Guru Maharaj was talking in one of the initiation programs there. Guru Maharaj mentioned that I want to make more I want to make more of my disciples to become Guru Maharaj, or spiritual Maharaj. And he wants to. Guru Maharaj is encouraging his disciples to take up Guruship, become spiritual Maharaj. So that's what Prabhupada told. That's what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. He taught us to become spiritual master. Krishna Upadesh, Upadesh, Amaragya Guru Hoya Taro Ide. Guru Maharaj was telling in that assembly, I want to make my disciples gurus. And he was saying that not those who want, okay, I want to become guru. Guru Maharaj, he said those who are qualified and those who can qualify. So what I'm saying is that Guru Maharaj is not going to make somebody, okay, I want to become, I want to learn this, no, because he knows the disciple. He knows what a disciple can handle, cannot handle. We don't want to become somebody and mess up our own life. We don't want to become somebody and ruin someone else's life, right? We want to become preacher and then go talk all kind of nonsense. No, that's not preaching. Guru Maharaj would not. I remember once one devotee. This was many years back actually. It comes to my mind. And he was telling Guru Maharaj that he is not happy because disciple of God, because he is not given some position in management. And the Guru Maharaj wrote to him that in that case, he said, I would be the last person to give you management position because your mood is not correct. Not exactly, I'm not remembering exactly what he said, but this was the essence of the email he sent, the letter he sent. That time there was no email. I think it was a written letter. So the point is that we want to learn, we should know why we want to learn. If we have the right reason, then we can approach the spiritual master and he can teach us. After knowing our capacity, there are so many risks involved. Risk is there becoming GBC, becoming guru, becoming preacher, becoming so many risks are the temple president. I'm just giving some examples. There's so many examples want to become when they want to become, when they want to learn from the spiritual. But spiritual master teaches after analyzing us, after knowing our ability, our adhikar. So it is not only about what to learn and why to learn. It also depends on Guru Maharaj's understanding of our ability, what can be taught to a person. You don't give a gun to some crazy guy. Don't, because you know. So Guru Maharaj is very expert in training his disciples. So we should also understand what to learn, why to learn. And there's one more thing. It's not only about what to learn and why to learn. Suppose we know what to learn. Suppose we know why to learn. There's something called how to learn. How to learn from a mundane teacher is entirely different from how to learn from a spiritual master. A mundane teacher can teach. His interests are different. Your interests could be different. Your relations could be different. But a bona fide guru, learning from a bona fide guru is different, right? We know how Lord Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, Pariprashnena Sevaya, right? Upadekshantite Tattvadarshana. So, Pariprashnena Sevaya. So these are the ways to learn spiritual science. Krishna consciousness is spiritual. Prabhupada actually kept saying that this is not about religion, it's about science. Prabhupada emphasized all the time, whenever he spoke to different scholars and people, he said Krishna consciousness is science. And it is a science. Being a science student, I used to study a lot of though I didn't pursue my degree stuff, but I kept studying science. And I realized more and more that this is actually science. It is not about just some belief, it's science. And Prabhupada kept saying that, science. So spiritual science requires a different method. That is what is taught in Bhagavad Gita. We have to be humble, we have to serve, ask questions humbly. Now, how to learn also has a couple of other things. There are different ways of learning, right? How we learn by observing things. In the world, we learn by observing, right? A child learns by observing. He doesn't understand language. He learns by observing. So it's also a way of learning. But learning from the spiritual master by observing him, yes, he can learn. But that also comes with a lot of risk because, and you can imagine the risk, right? We may observe something and we may assume something by observing. Oh, he did like this, so I also can do that. And you can imagine what could go wrong if you observe and do without understanding why a spiritual master did something or behaved in a particular way. There are every chances that we misunderstand why Guru Maharaj or the spiritual master did something which appears to be wrong to us, if I have to use that word. It can also happen that he does not do something which appears right to us, right? I remember when usually I was very somehow by Prabhupada's, Guru Maharaj's mercy, I always had this closeness with Guru Maharaj. I never felt that, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot talk to him. I always maintain, of course, we learn from scriptures, we have to maintain reverence towards Guru Maharaj. That is the first condition. You cannot become familiar with him. So that is there, but we can always ask questions. When we have doubt, we should be able to ask questions. So I used to ask Guru Maharaj different questions. Whenever I had doubt, I would ask Guru Maharaj, why is that? Just remember once I was coming out of the temple, and that day Guru Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam class. He gave Bhagavatam class. And when he started giving class, he was chanting Jai Radha Madhava, and that was done. Then the devotees read purport, right? Because Bengali class or English class, they would read the purport and Guru Maharaj would chant mantras and shlokas like that. So during that time, Guru Maharaj was not very active, right? Because he was hearing and he was kind of falling asleep. And I was recording, I was feeling a little bit uneasy because my concern was not that why is he doing it, because I knew he had slept late last night, worked very hard. That was his, still he does that, working till late night. So I knew he was tired, but what about the audience? What about the people who were not going to be able to understand why he was sleeping? They might criticize. oh, this sannyasi, look, he's sleeping, he's falling asleep on the grasses. Right? They may talk like that. They may think like that. So I was concerned what to do anyway. I continued that. And after the class, and the class was beautiful class, ecstatic class. So I asked Guru Maharaj, I said, you were so tired when you were falling asleep, but you gave so energetic class. So how you did it? And Guru Maharaj laughed. He smiled. Actually. He said, he looked at me. He said, that's the secret. He said, when I feel tired in class, I pick up Lord Chaitanya's pastime. And that class was about Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and devotees were roaring, chanting, Gauranga, Gauranga. You have seen Guru Maharaj doing that, right? And he gave beautiful class. It was not only about shouting or chanting Gauranga, but he gave beautiful, ecstatic class. So he said, that's the secret. I pick up Mahaprabhu's topic. So that shows his natural attachment to Mahaprabhu's pastime. You know, when you are falling asleep and someone comes and talks to you about things of your interest, or gives you something to eat which you like, or whatever else, you feel like wow, right? And you don't realize where the time goes because the sleep goes away. So this shows Guru Maharaj's interest and his attachment to Mahaprabhu's past. So anyway, so sometimes you don't realize why he did not do the why he did. Because we don't understand the principle behind. So only observing is not. That is risk. We can make mistakes. The other time I was thinking, once Guru Maharaj got upset with one devotee, and I said, Guru Maharaj, why you got upset with him? He was trying to help you. Guru Maharaj said his attitude is not. So we cannot understand Guru just like. We think he did not do this, he did this, but there is a reason behind it. So observing and learning is good, but it comes with a lot of risk. There's another way of learning, and you can understand what I'm going to say, is hear. You hear from the spiritual master and you learn. There is a much less possibility of speculation. If we hear and learn, is safe, and we can be assured that if we hear from the right person, what you are learning is correct. And that happens before we choose the spiritual life, right? Why there is a period for aspiring, shelter, all these things are not just like that. There are reasons that you understand the spiritual master, that he is the bona fide, will not mislead. See what happens sometime in our society and outside even much more. You know, Guru Maharaj was just few months back, maybe a year back. The society was in turmoil, right? Because some scandals came out, abuse things came out. And disgustingly, there were some people who were still defending the wrongdoing. Oh no, we should not do because of complete nonsense. And there were people who were believing that, they are right. So what I'm saying is this thing happened because they have not heard enough from bona fide spiritual and from Srila Prabhupada directly. We must hear, we must read from Prabhupada's book directly. We hear to Prabhupada directly. We are fortunate that we have Guru Maharaj as our Guru. Imagine the gurus who misled the disciples. and fell later on. Because many of them may not have read Srila Prabhupada, may not have heard Srila Prabhupada. So they were vulnerable to get mistake. And you must have noticed Guru Maharaj is pushing for reading Prabhupada. The Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, he is now talking everywhere about do Bhakti Shastri, read Prabhupada. Why? Because if you do the courses, you will be forced to read Prabhupada, study Prabhupada. That is his Guru Maharaj's mercy on us to tell us how to learn. And a spiritual master, of course, I want to add one more thing, that when we think that this is done by spiritual master is not right, because we don't understand that, it doesn't mean we accept things blindly. We should be able to see something is wrong. But we know that only if we have learned from Prabhupada, from scriptures, what is right, what is right. A bona fide guru will never ever do prohibited. We'll need to learn. So how to learn is also very, very important. That's the point actually I'm trying to make. That devotees, we need to hear from Prabhupada, need to hear from bona fide spiritual master, and we need to appreciate that we are fortunate, very fortunate to have received the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, received the mercy of Srila Guru Maharaj, that we are protected from deviation from different. We want to be thankful to spiritual master, to Prabhupada, and to Lord Krishna, that he sent us Guru Maharaj. He's now in your city. He's in Bangalore. You have a lot of opportunities to serve him. One thing, I'm sure we are running out of time, but serving the spiritual master is not only about being close to him. Please do not think that you are not able to serve him because you are away from him. Vapu Sevaks, those who serve his physical body, have their own advantage. And also risks are there. You commit more aparadh, you take spiritual master, sometimes cheaply, you become complacent. Shouldn't happen. I was just telling a few days back, talking to Chennai, yes, that how sometimes while serving spiritual master, physically, personally, in the close association, we become complacent. And that's a dangerous risk for those who serve him personally. We think it is normal. Oh yeah, I can do after some time. Okay, I have done. Okay, I have to go out. My time is up. I will go. I don't want to spend more time because I have something else to do. No. It's a rare opportunity to find a bona fide spiritual master in the material world. Do not give up any opportunity to serve him physically, personally. No. And I was saying how we become complacent by being around him. It could be Vapu Seva, even Vani Seva also. Oh, Guru Master, okay, I'm temple president, I'm in charge, I'm leader, I meet him so many times, I have so many meetings with him. Okay, I can meet later, I can do some service later. Never give up opportunity. Very rare. What happens is like a patient who needs oxygen. He's connected to oxygen cylinder, he's breathing oxygen. And he becomes comfortable. He forgets I am connected to oxygen cylinder. If you disconnect it, the patient realizes, my God, die. We do not want to take Guru's mercy cheaply. We want to realize we are surviving in spiritual life because of that link with Krishna that spiritual master provides to us. We don't want to forget. Anyway, so those who are doing Vani Seva should not also feel that they are not able to serve. Vani Seva is going to last long. Vapu Seva will one day not be available. So it's rare. But Vani Seva is not less important. In fact, they are doing Vani Seva as well as Vapu Seva also, because by their following the Vani, they are giving Srila Guru Maharaj lot of things, energy, enthusiasm, support, different ways supporting, book distribution, donation, so many things, Bhakti Duksha, Namhata, endless things Guru Maharaj wants to do, because Prabhupada has given him so many responsibilities. So by following his instruction, you are also serving Guru Maharaj very much. So please do not think that you are less fortunate just because you have no many opportunities to serve him first. It is 8:50 and I haven't even started actually talking about my experiences. I'll talk few things very quickly. Last time same thing happened. But one thing is that all these things we talked about, what to learn from the spiritual master, how to learn from spiritual master, why to learn from spiritual master, all these things can become clear to us if we learn one thing. If we receive one thing from spiritual master. Somebody asked Prabhupada, and Guru Maharaj was also talking about that in one of the classes, what a disciple should get from the spiritual master. Prabhupada said he should get spiritual master's vibration. Guru Maharaj explains that vibration is the mood of the spiritual, the intensity of the spiritual master. If we can understand the mood of the spiritual master, all these things will come automatically. Literally automatically. Because that's all we need from the spiritual master. I mean, we need means just to say, we need eternally, we are indebted to him, we need eternally support. But to understand how to learn, what to learn, why to learn, if we just learn how to accept his mood, his vibration, these things will follow. There's a very important part in spiritual life. Even scriptures talk about that also. When I met Guru Maharaj first time, I remember one devotee took me to Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj asked me, he said, so you have any question? You know how Guru Maharaj asked. Many devotees may have experience like that. Guru Maharaj asking, do you have any question? And somehow or other, I felt like, I told him, immediately I said, Guru Maharaj, because I was hearing the talk going around that time. Oh, it's a prasadam. I said, Guru Maharaj, I have many questions, but it's a time for your prasadam. We please take prasadam. And I don't know how I got the courage to say like that in the first meeting with him, the first talk with him personally. And Guru Maharaj, I think he appreciated. And later on, he gave me a lot of mercy. I mean, if I look back, I can honestly say that so many things I learned in my life is all plain his mercy. It's plain. There's no qualification. I was a science whatever I was. I learned so many things. Why? How? By his mercy. Nukam karoti vachalam in practice. I mean, literally, I realized that so many things we learn from the spiritual master just by his mercy. Without background, you learn. And it might sound very fantastic to some people who do not have experience of or even understanding of how Guru's mercy is. They don't have faith in scripture. Mukam karoti vachalam pambum langhaite girim is reality. It's a reality. Prabhupada talks about it. Guru Maharaj talks about it. The other day in a meeting, Guru Maharaj he came and he was so happy. He was so happily talking. He said, oh, it's happening. And we were like, what, Guru Maharaj? He said, you can see how so many things are happening by Prabhupada's mercy. He told me to do this. It happened. he told me to do this, it happened. He told me this is happening. And he was counting different successes that he achieved in his spiritual life. And he fulfilled Prabhupada's instructions. He said, I could not believe. I don't know how I can do it, but I did it. It happened. The faith, and Guru Maharaj explains in the same class, you receive that mood of the Guru. How you receive? By serving, by having full faith, your heart into his instruction. How you achieve that? By doing it. Full surrender to spiritual master. Put your heart into what he said. Just by that attitude. And I as I'm speaking this, I remember one thing, and I'll say and close it because 5 minutes left. When I got initiated, we had Rath Yatra, and I was going to go with Guru Maharaj for the Rath Yatra, Kolkata Rath Yatra. And I was thinking in my mind, how to serve Guru Maharaj. He will be chanting, he will be doing kirtan, and so I was thinking, maybe I just figured out something far out in my mind. I could never do it, but I was thinking that I should just roll on the ground, rub my head on the road, and with my hair I should clean the road as he walks on the road. It's some far out idea I just got. I should do like that too, so he can walk on the road which is cleaned by my head or my head. So these ideas were there, and I had this some sort of some you may say funny ideas, weird ideas, but I think Guru Maharaj read my mind. Guru Maharaj appreciated it. And just after initiation, I was within a year, Guru Maharaj called me one day. He said, "You want to become my secretary?" And I was like, "Your secretary?" I mean, I said, "Yes, Guru Maharaj. I don't know how to serve you." Guru Maharaj said, "It's okay. You can be trained up." So this is his causeless. And I'm very sorry I did not talk about my experiences with Guru Maharaj. And if I'm given chance in the future, sometime we can talk only about that, hopefully. And it will never finish, I know that. But I will close now. Again, thank you very much, Prabhus and Matajis, for inviting me to be with you again. And I beg your forgiveness. I could not speak more about my personal experiences with Guru Maharaj. And please forgive me for if I said anything which is not appropriate. Please forgive me. Thank you very much. If there's a question in next 5 minutes, I'll try to.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing so many wonderful lessons from Guru Maharaj. And definitely, maybe we can have another session for the pastimes as well. So, devotees, if you any devotee, if you have any question, you can just raise your hand, and I'll unmute you. You can just raise the hand. Okay, Lalitangi Radha Mataji is having a question. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for your wonderful class instructions on what is the mood of Guru Maharaj and how to learn from him, so many things. That was very nice. Prabhuji, if you can tell about one pastime being his traveling secretary. We know that he likes to travel a lot and there are so many pastimes there. If you can share one or
Guru Maharaj was, I don't know what word to use, but I wrote an article about Guru Maharaj. And I used the word that one of his God brothers mentioned about gentle giant. Jayapataka, gentle giant. He was a giant traveler. Giant in anything he did. He was always giant. Means huge. In traveling also, I can tell you two small incidents. Funny also, very nice. I may have mentioned in the previous class or somewhere else. Once I was going with him and we were going by train that time to Jagannath. and we we missed the train. So the devotees who came with us, they took our luggage and put in the next train. So Guru Maharaj going. Guru Maharaj, I just have to go. I have to go. He had to also meet His Holiness Gaura Purnima Swami in Bhubaneswar. Anyway, so we put luggage in the other train. We had no ticket. We had ticket for the other train. So Guru Maharaj went up. I went behind him, put his bag inside. I just put his suitcase near some toilet somewhere and went inside to look for the seat for Guru Maharaj. It was a general compartment, I think. It was not even a reserved compartment. Anyway, we got in the train and Guru Maharaj, you know how Guru Maharaj is so effulgent, tall, American body and very impressive personality. So Guru Maharaj walking around and looking at people and people were looking at Guru Maharaj and I was trying to find out what Guru Maharaj will do now because there was no seat. People were sitting like, you know how they sit in trains sometimes. Some person, he was sitting in the corner of the seat, you know how on the edge, on the corner. So he thought, okay, he felt, you know, sannyasi and he just moved a little bit, whatever he could. He said, okay, sit here. And and Guru Maharaj, so grateful. That's one thing out of many things we can learn from him. He was so grateful to that gentleman. And Guru Maharaj knew he cannot sit in that because a very small corner, you know what I'm saying, corner of the seat. And that devotee was, that person was simply trying to, you know, do some etiquette or follow do some service. Guru Maharaj accepted that. And he sat down on the corner and he, you know how he sat, he took his lathi, here a stick, right? He took the lathi and he actually was holding the lathi, putting all the pressure, his weight on the lathi, simply for the show, you can say. He was sitting on the seat. Accepted that. That devotee, that person got mercy. He must be a devotee. He got mercy. Guru Maharaj was grateful. Then we went out. Next station we got down the train, paid some fine, got a ticket and got some better class and we traveled. Other time, he had to catch, I mean, better don't ask me question, otherwise you'll say, I'll just take 10 minutes. So I'll tell a couple of parts. So then we were going and Guru Maharaj was going to go abroad. He was flying that day outside India. And when we drove up to somewhere near Jagannath temple, I remembered I forgot his passport. What to do? He said, I cannot not say also, because if I don't say, he is going to need that. There was no way I can hide it also. And generally, I would flatly tell Guru Maharaj I spaced out. Many incidents happen like that. And anyway, so I said, Guru Maharaj, he said, what? I remember I used to stand next to him. We had a tempo traveler and Guru Maharaj would sit in the front seat. After some time, he would go back for prasadam. But suddenly he would sit in the front seat and I would stand behind him, you know, some space behind the seat and then the main seat. So I would stand in between and keep talking to Guru. That was I just like to do that. And Guru Maharaj also would let me stand there and talk to me. And it was a beautiful, blissful time of my life. So I would stand there. I said, Guru Maharaj. He said, what? Because he understood something went wrong. I said, Guru Maharaj, I forgot your passport. And I was expecting that he would blast me because Guru Maharaj blasted me a lot. Guru Maharaj was very heavy. There are many pastimes that he screamed and chastised me, different things. So he said, he didn't say anything. Because Guru Maharaj knew that there was no point in getting this guy's case because he forgot the passport. So Guru Maharaj said, okay. He told, we had Dharesh Prabhu with us. He was a young boy. And Guru Maharaj said, okay, you call up some devotee, he gave some name. That devotee can come to the other side of the river and we can go around and come to Swarup Ganj Ghat and that devotee can come by boat, bring my passport. So there is got some local devotees. Prabhuji, go there, pick a passport. I told him where the passport I have left. The devotee came. We draw this vehicle very fast, and we reached the other side of the river. The devotee reached. By the time we reached there, we got the passport. We drove and do. Another time, I had to. This is the last part. I will not take more. Guru Maharaj's passport had to be renewed. So I was in Calcutta trying to renew his passport, and Guru Maharaj had to fly next day evening. So I said, Guru Maharaj, I spoke to the officer there. I went to the officer person and talked to him, got a Tatkal. India has the Tatkal scheme, right? Applied for Tatkal, all these things. But that officer, he wouldn't budge. He said, if you want passports so urgently, I want it the same day. I say for my Guru Maharaj, I want it today evening. And I'm usually forceful when something comes for Guru Maharaj. So I said, I need it today. And he said, no, your Guru has to come here if you want passport urgent. Because they usually give in 3 days something. I wanted the same day. So I told Guru Maharaj, this officer is saying like this, that he wants to see you personally. Guru Maharaj said, okay, I will come. I will come in the morning. I will meet the officer and we go in the evening. So next day, Guru Maharaj came early. You know how Guru Maharaj walked in with his prasadam, and the container he would carry, gave prasadam to officer, and Guru Maharaj sat down very humbly. And he said, yes, sir, he said, I came because you called me. He wanted to see me. I came here. And that officer, he melted. He said, Swamiji, forgive me. I don't know exactly what it is. He said, Swamiji, I called you because I wanted to take your darshan. I please forgive me. I called you because I wanted to take your darshan. He said, if I go to Mayapur to see you, I would never get this chance to see you personally. So I called you today. And Guru Maharaj was laughing. But I think Guru Maharaj understood his mood. And maybe Guru Maharaj even knew that he's calling for this. We never know. So that devotee, then the officer came and paid obeisance to Guru Maharaj, paid his pranam to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj blessed him. And he said, Maharaj, actually, I am a devotee of Lord Jagannath. I am from here, there, like that. He was talking about Jagannath. And Guru Maharaj was very normal about that. And as if he knew that devotee is calling me, I go to see him in a different excuse that person called him. And then that officer, okay, fine. Okay, waive off all these fees, no tatkal fee. Okay, go meet this person. Okay, get it done. Guru Maharaj left. I went afternoon, picked a passport, and Guru Maharaj flew. Guru Maharaj ki jai. There are many ways, many things in mind. One thing I request devotees, please write down these things. Write down when you serve Guru Maharaj. Don't forget to write down. I have not written many things, and I cannot forgive myself for that. I have not written many things, and I struggle to write, struggle to remember. Please do that. If you have opportunity, if you hear something, if you have experience with Guru Maharaj, please write down. It will be a great asset, great learning for the people in the coming year. All right. Thank you, Mataji, for asking question.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji, for sharing much more wonderful pastimes of Guru Maharaj. Okay. Any devotee, any other question? Anyone has? Okay, I think there is no more question, Prabhuji. So thank you on behalf of Iskcon Seshadripuram and all the assembled devotees here. We'd like to thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing with us your valuable realizations and so many things that we learned from you today. So we are very grateful to you for that, Prabhuji. And we'd like to thank you by chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you also
Thank you,
very
Prabhuji.
much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you so much. We would like to hear from you also.
Panchang Pranam.
I take a leave, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Thank you,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare.
Thank you,
Vansha
Prabhuji.
kalpatarubhyascha
Krishna
kripa
Prabhu,
sindhubhyo
Dandavat.
Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Sridham Mayapur.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Mayapur.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Please bless us, Prabhuji, so that we also can serve like you to Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.